Hey all, and this is the Lunar Revolution event. This is the Dark Slayer event and Chaotic Killer. So I have made up quite a few teams, as you can see here. The Water Slayer team you can see here is doing the most damage. There's also a Commander team, plus a deck idea. With this team you would replace the Wisp with the current event ultimate form. So what I'm going to do is talk through the teams that are actually doing reasonable damage. The Water Slayer team is by far the best though. We'll start with this Dark Slayer team here. This is an idea. What you'd do is replace the card here with the event ultimate form. There we go, let's go from left to right. Metaverse Masters to start with. Gives the next hero to use their battle skill a 150% damage buff. One of the key cards in the game just because of that buff. Used in nearly every single event. The Freedom Fighters. This has that lovely nuke skill that does around 5 times the damage of its main attack. It says 100% here, but if you use damage boost, or 5 times damage boost, it does 500%, I believe. It's a very powerful card just for that reason, despite how old it is. Striped Sovereigns. This has a decent increase to Dark Slayer damage, as you can see here. 150%. That's why it's on the team. Vanquishing Vagabonds. Unfortunately, this is the only Dark Slayer Chaotic Killer card that I have that's reasonably modern. The only other one I have is Spirits United, and that's even older than this one. Spirits United is quite a good bounty card, but unfortunately this card and Spirits United are both pretty old cards. Just creates power gems, and self-attack by 100% is not very much compared to the damage buffs we get on modern cards. But yeah, that's about it for the Chaotic Killer Dark Slayer cards. I'm actually stuck on Spire right now on a Dark Slayer Chaotic Killer stage, so that gives you an idea. And then High Performance Unit Iria used to get that lovely supercharged buff up. You have to wait one turn though until the enemy's turn counter is on 1 before you can use it, since it's Slayer. That makes the team a bit slow, since you have to wait, then wait another turn until it's on 1, then use it. Get supercharged up, then go left to right. The relics on this team. Here we have a Dark Commander Chaotic Shield Breaker relic. Breaks 3 Chaotic Shield plus 1 per Dark Commander Ultimate Hero. Then there should be another Chaotic one here. That's enough to break all the shields, then just my best Dark Slayer relics, basically. It doesn't matter too much what relics you have, since Metaverse Masters is active from the very first turn. You can convert the entire grid to dark. But yeah, I need to replace Vanquishing Vagabonds with a more modern Dark Slayer Chaotic Killer Ultimate form. Then this team would be really good. As it is now, it's pretty weak actually. Bit disappointing, as I thought this would do maybe 30 to 40Q, but Freedom Fighters only normally hits for around 3Q. Then we get around 15Q off the bonus attack. But here's a variant of the previous team, but without Iria. Without Iria though, the damage is even lower, doing under 1Q on the Freedom Fighters. So this is only really useful for levelling up the bosses. Then my main team for this event is my lovely Water Slayer team. Let's talk through this team. So Holiday Saints gives the next water hero to activate their battle skill a 500% damage buff. Then combined with Metaverse Masters, a 150% damage buff. Both buffs go on Sovereigns of the Dance. This also increases self-damage by 300%, and converts the gems to water. Frontier Titans increases Water Slayer damage by 130%. That's a pretty decent Water Slayer damage buff. It's the most recent Water Slayer ultimate form. And then Iria again to get that lovely supercharged buff up. So this is kind of an optimal team actually. The reason this team is optimal, it has 3 cards with damage buffs, 1 hitting card that increases self-damage, and 1 card that increases attack by a decent amount. So if you can make up a team like that for all events, 3 damage boosters, 1 card that increases self-damage, 1 card that boosts attack, then you're in business and should do well in the event. So onto the relics. Again, we have the relics to break the shields, plus Cater's bow this time. That gives a bit more of a percentage increase to attack, which helps the team out a bit more. So here's the first relic. That breaks 2 chaotic shield plus 1 per Water Slayer ultimate hero on the team. Then the one here breaks 3 chaotic shields. That's enough to break all of the shields. Then 2 decent Water Slayer relics. Then Cater's bow, as I've already mentioned, increases attack of all applicable heroes by 47.1%. So that helps with the boost of Iria to increase the damage a bit further. But yeah, that's the team that's doing all the damage. What I could do with this team is replace High Performance Unit Iria with another Water Slayer card. Then I could use this on the very first turn. That would be useful for bosses up until around Radiant, I would have thought. But for now, I'm just going to use this since I am at Umbral level. So you can also use a Dark Commander team if you're struggling for ideas. Something like this should do pretty decent damage. 4 cards and increased damage, plus 1 big hitting card that increases self-damage. I'm not going to talk too much about this team though, since it's not going to do anywhere near as much damage as my Slayer teams I would have thought. You can also try something like this. Now I've not seen this team in action. I have seen it can do decent damage. What you'd do is replace the Wisp with the current event ultimate form. Headstrong Sirens is on the team. It's a chaotic killer card that increases chaotic killer attack, you can see, by 1,600%. Then Striped Sovereigns again has to increase the Dark Slayer damage. Then the event ultimate form would go there. Metaverse Masters would be used to boost up the event ultimate form. And then Black Flag Marauders would be used to spawn water gems to try and get loose dark gems on the board. I've not actually used this team, as you can probably see, since I don't have the event ultimate form. You would probably need Dark Slayer relics for this team. You might need a water one as well, just to get the water gems at the start. I did have a request to talk a bit more about High Performance Unit Iria and how to use that card. I think I've already explained it pretty well though. Just use High Performance Unit Iria when the enemy's turn counter is on 1. It can be used to boost up any Immortal Killer card, including off-colour cards or Commander cards, Slayer cards, even Dragoons. Yeah, that's a selection of Immortal Killer cards I have. As I mentioned in the previous part of the video, the best way to use High Performance Unit Iria is with 3 other cards and increased damage, 1 big hitting card that increases self-damage, then obviously Iria to boost up the attack. What I'm going to do is a quick practice on my own defence. My own defence is pretty easy to defeat if I'm being honest. It's just to show Iria in action with a Dark Commander team. In this instance, Iria is used to boost up defraggers most of the time. So the important part is to make sure you use Iria when the enemy's turn counter is on 1. In GVG, that's pretty much all of the time, unless you've delayed the enemy's turn. You can see just under middle of the screen the bar that says 1, so now is a good time to use it. Toxin used to stop Iria, but I think now it doesn't. My Dragoon counters Toxin all of the time, so I can't really show if it does. And then you can see now the supercharged buff is up as the enemy hit me while Iria was active. Then that has boosted up defraggers, since that's an immortal killer card. And now that should do all of the damage here and take down the enemy. But yeah, Iria is really easy to use once you've got the hang of it. Weaken can block Iria though, I think, unless they've changed something. I'll just wait until Iria lights up and then I will be able to show that I can't use it because I've been hit by Weaken. My defence is really weak, may I add. I don't focus too much on GVG. Oh, I've removed Weaken with defraggers, haven't I, of course. Yeah, but if Weaken is active, I'm pretty sure, unless they've changed something recently, you can't use Iria. Also, Mute as well, that will block Iria. Right, we'll finish this off nice and quickly. Obviously, if the enemy's turn counter was on 2 or 3 and you used Iria at that point, it would do absolutely nothing. You have to use it when the enemy's turn counter is on 1. But yeah, it was requested that I do a short feature about Iria, so yeah, hopefully most of you already know this. A team like this, though, won't kill 6 Pink Star Wardens, unfortunately. You need, well, pretty much all damage boosting cards. This will get through my defence really easily, though. It's also useful for tricky defences with nasty defender skills, since defraggers removes most of them. Actually, I think it removes all of them, including Mute, since you can't silence defraggers. But yeah, something like this would be more useful on 6 Pink Star Wardens. You have 3 cards that increase damage, then the 1 big hitting card plus a decent Dragoon. You can see here 5 Pink Stars on this Dragoon. I want to get that up to 6 Pink Stars, but I keep getting stuck on Spire, unfortunately. But anyway, that covers this section of the video. A bit of team testing and GVG testing as well. So let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here's the actual event. We have Slumber and Flatline on the bosses. And we do also have the multi-bosses back. I do have an Umbral up. What I'm going to do is start off by testing my Dark team and then show you the difference with my Water team. My Water team is currently smashing my Dark teams to pieces, sometimes hitting for over 100 Q. This Dark team, though, with Iria is not doing that much damage, to be honest, but I'll show you it anyway. Right, so here we go. Pretty easy team to use. Once the turn counter on the top left of the screen is on 1, use Iria. On the first turn, use Metaverse Masters like so. There we go, and then use Iria, take a hit from the enemy, then just basically go left to right, keep an eye on the damage from the Freedom Fighters. If you're going to make up a team similar to this, all the damage is in the Freedom Fighters nuke. Yeah, just match the 2 highest power gems, and that should be a pretty decent hit with this team. 3.5Q, and that hits for around 15Q or so on the nuke. Then you can actually hit again on the turn after this one. All the cards are 2-turn cooldown, well, apart from Metaverse Masters, which is 1 turn. So yeah, you can get another hit out, and then you have to use Iria on the next turn. There we go. Then use Iria and repeat the process. That's basically how this team works. It's not my better team though. The team that's doing all the damage is the water team. Not sure why this team is so effective in just about every single event. I have managed to hit for over 100Q with this team, believe it or not. But let's give it a go. Right. So it's basically the same sort of strategy as with the previous team. On the first turn, use Metaverse Masters, match the water and dark gems, then use Iria, then just go left to right. So yeah, Iria-based teams seem to be the way to go with this event. Without Iria, this team doesn't do anywhere near as much damage. All the damage is on Sovereigns of the Dance, so keep an eye on that. Here we go. So that's not a very good grid, so the attack won't do that much damage. 31.8Q, that's about the lowest I've seen actually with this team. That's a bit unlucky. Got to wait until Iria is ready again though. And the turn counter on the top left of the screen is on 1. Don't use it when it's on 2, otherwise Iria won't activate. It's easy to do that. I've done that quite a few times. Used Iria when the turn counter is on 2. Why am I not doing any damage? Anyway, let's give this a go again. Hopefully this will be... See where those power gems go. Yeah, there's nothing loose again. Bit unlucky. Never going to do much damage unless there's a few loose power gems from the main match. Try one more time. Hopefully this time it will do a bit more damage. So far this has been very disappointing compared to what it has done in testing. It's always the way though when I start making these videos. Normally the hits don't go quite as planned. This will be the final try though, I think. Let's see what it does. Yeah, there's one loose power gem, but a weird match on the bottom, so I don't know. Maybe 50Q? Yeah, 44.1Q. I've gone, I'll try one more attack. I really want a good hit just for this video. I'm not getting anything though, I'm getting really mediocre hits. I mean, they are pretty decent hits considering it's a water team, but it's still nowhere near the potential of this team. It can do a lot more. It can do over 100Q, as I've already mentioned. It's just a case of getting lucky with the grid, having a lot of power gems that are loose from the main match. I think that's the best grid I've had so far. This should be the best hit. Let's see. Yeah, that's more like the damage it can do, 69.3Q. It's still not the maximum, but it's not bad. But yeah, that gives an idea of what sort of damage the teams I have can do at least. I will make up another water team without Iria, I think. I was kind of expecting the dark team to do more damage than it is, but it seems incredibly disappointing, unfortunately. I guess that's just the way it is. I'm not going to focus on the multi-bosses this event. I just find them annoying during Slayer. I like them during Commander though. So I think that's about it for the team testing. Right, so let's go ahead and collect. I assume it's a hammer collection. I am doing pretty well this time around. 89th out of 281 in Legends. I might actually stay in Legends this time around. I don't enjoy Slayer though. I find it really, really boring, as most of you probably already know. Yeah, hammers. Gold tokens are okay. A core at the bottom. Mostly junky rewards, but that's to be expected, as that's what we get nearly every time. Right, there we go. Right, let's go over here. We'll have a look at what it is this time around. Oh, it's a light warden. Oh, okay, Pierce. You don't very often see Pierce as a defender skill. I think that may block cards like Iria, but I'm not completely sure. The problem is this is a light warden, and light is pretty much considered the weakest type of defense. But yeah, that's what the card looks like. It has a strange battle skill as well. Creates 5 power gems and heals as well. Yeah, probably not a warden I would suggest using just because of how weak light defences normally are. But that's entirely up to you. A light-dark mix is pretty effective. Light on its own, not so much. And then we'll go over here and claim the random 6-star hero and that dark essence while I'm here. I might as well claim that. What am I going to get? Well, probably some random junk card as usual, but we shall see. Oh, I think that's the main hero. Not quite sure though, it might be an older hero. It looked like the main hero as it looks similar to the support hero. I could get half of this deck if I wanted to, but that would be completely pointless since I'm using my water deck for most of this event. Alright, so over here, it is a Golden Vault event. Do be a bit careful. Golden Vault is not actually as good as it might first appear. You get less cards, and there are a lot of silver cards, like 3-star support heroes that are basically useless. I don't recommend spending too much here or getting sucked in, as it's only slightly better than a normal vault. Okay, so here is the actual event ultimate form. It's been boosted a little bit from what I read in the newsfeed. Has a delay on the card, increases self-damage by 200%. So it is a main hitting card. Passive upgrades, creates power gems as well. Not a bad card if you want to use that as a main hitting card. You would need a bunch of cards that increase damage or attack to go with this. But yeah, if you're lacking Dark Slayer hitting cards, this is definitely one to consider. For that reason though, the cards on their own, the Ultra Rare and Master Hero, probably won't be of any use. I'll have a quick look at them anyway. This one increases self-damage and creates the power gems. Then the card over here, Moon Witch, has the delay on it and creates the passive power gem upgrade. So yeah, neither card on their own are especially effective. You only really want to get this deck if you can get the ultimate form. But since it's a Golden Vault event, you might get half of this deck just from luck. One other thing to watch out for, as it's a Golden Vault event, is the Vault specials. I would normally advise players to stay away from these, but they are a bit better value considering you have a decent, or better chance, should I say, of getting a gold hero At the end of the event, you can get 8 cards for 2,000 gems, and that's actually pretty decent value. I know you might get 8 junk cards, but last time when we had the Golden Vault on, I bought the Vault Specials and ended up with a 5 pink star hero. So yeah, I did alright out of that event, but again, it's entirely up to you. It is a gamble. And I think the 2,000 gem vault clearance only appears after the event. So that's something to consider anyway. Then finally, let's have a look at the news feed. Here we go about the ultimate hero being buffed. 200% increase to self-damage plus the passive. So a semi-decent ultimate form. I don't think it's that exciting though. There are Slayer cards with bigger buffs, as you all know. Plus if you have the Water Slayer combination I'm using, you really don't need this deck. And here's the double key event, Golden Vault returns. I still don't think I'm going to bother with the multi-bosses. I don't want to make up 5 teams. I still think they are a waste of time in Slayer. They're quite fun in Commander though. You just need a separate screen for them. And then Umbral's increased health again. Yeah, I'm not overly keen on that, but it's to be expected as the decks get more powerful. I don't think there's much more of interest in the newsfeed, apart from the double key expedition, which I completely skipped. I didn't even play one level of the expedition, as I don't see the point during Slayer. And I think that marks the end of this video. I hope that was helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this video, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, giving it a like and subscribing is always appreciated. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. You can find the previous week's event video on the screen, plus a playlist with all my videos in. You can also subscribe from here if you want to and have not already done so. And thanks for watching.